warmly welcome each and every one of you to this webinar hosted by the Business of Sports Institute, and I will be your host slash moderator for today. My name is Beverly Agbakoba Oyejania. I'm the lead faculty, which also means teacher, but it's just a fancy word. I'm the lead faculty and the founder of Business of Sports Institute. And Business of Sports Institute, as we all know, is a brand new institution dedicated to empowering Africans all over the continent in the area of sports business through education, through advocacy programs, through job mobility, recruitment, innovation, research, and so much more. And I am so excited to be joined today by these honorable, distinguished guests. To my right-hand side, depending on what side of the screen you're looking at, I have Philip Okoso, aka Niger Data Man, who's made a name for himself as a data analytics certified trainer, teaching in so many fantastic institutions, reputable institutions all over Nigeria. To my upper right, we have Hassan Ez, another fine young gentleman from the wonderful land of Egypt. And he's a sports business executive, focusing mainly in the MENA area, Middle East, North Africa, but we know that very soon he's going to involve the sub-Saharan part of Africa, because this is all about bringing Africans together for the benefit of moving this industry forward. So I'm very excited to have you all here today. Tell your friends to log in, please. They don't want to miss this. It's not every day we get the chance to hear from these very distinguished guests in the world of sports business. Now, just a few things I want to share with you. You're probably wondering, BOS, why? Where did this come from? It just came from nowhere. Well, actually, it's been a burning desire for about a year or two now to set up Business of Sports Institute. My background is in the sports, entertainment, and technology industry, but everybody knows that I have a very soft spot for sport. I believe that sport does have the power to unite and bring so many people together. And how much more a continent like Africa, which is rich in resources, from human resources to mineral resources to brain resources, AI. We have the original AI. So I believe that our continent is quite underrepresented when it comes to sports business on a global level. And also I do believe that we are not getting the best in terms of opportunities, simply because of the lack of education and the lack of and the lack of platforms that serve us. So Business of Sports Institute was really created to serve a need and to fill a gap for quality sports business education, data, research, innovation, and so much more. And I do hope that you'll stick around and you'll keep following us. We are launching lots of courses coming up in January. One of the courses is the Sports Data Analytics course, which is going to be taught by none other than Philip Niger Data Man Okoso. And of course, we also have a lot of representatives, very distinguished reps from all over Africa. And it's an honor to have Hassan Ez with us, because he's actually one of our African reps from the northern part of the continent. So without further ado, I'm going to allow each of them to talk about what they do. You're not here to listen to me, you're here to listen to them and to learn from them. I assume that each and every one of you here has an interest in sports business, and you want to know what are the opportunities, where are the, what kind of skills do I need, what kind of training do I need. So Hassan and Philip today are going to talk us through their background, their career background, the reasons why they've chosen this very exciting industry and space to work in. And don't worry, you have time to ask a lot of questions. We're going to do a presentation session for about 25 minutes. And then I will then take them through some interview questions. And please, you have all the time to write out your questions in the Q&A. But if you do want to talk, raise your hand and I will give you, I will select the button that will let you speak, because sometimes it's just nice to hear people's voices. So without further ado, we're going to kick off. So you know what they say, when we're home, we have to let our guests speak first. So I'm going to ask Hassan, being our guest, because we are located in Nigeria for the purpose of this webinar. So I'm going to let Hassan come on first and just talk about himself. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do, why you're so passionate about sports business, and then we'll hear from the wonderful Philip Oposo. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, and special thanks to Beverly for this amazing introduction. And I'm glad to be here today. It was like a great day that when you called me and told me about POS and how much value you want to bring to everyone who's like looking forward to enhance their skills or to step in the industry from Africa. And there is a big space and a room of growth for everyone to join. So I'm glad to be here. My name is Hassan Ez. I'm Egyptian. I'm 32 years old. Actually, I'm Nubian, so it's the south of Egypt. I always have, even though that you mentioned that I work mainly in the MENA region, Europe, and Middle East, but actually I work as well with amazing African colleagues that they work in CAF, they work in different football federations in Africa, and as well representing brands in Africa. We have amazing talents. What I do is mainly business development. I work with the B2B and commercial side of the business. I try to find the value between the entities in the sports to create value together, let's say like a partnership or a matchmaker, more or less. And this is what I do, and I'm so excited to hear all your questions and get to know everyone here.
Thank you so much, Hassan. Now let's have Philip. Thank you, Philip.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel so excited. In fact, I want to explode. My brain is about to explode right now because, today is like a day that, didn't want to come. Initially, we were supposed to have this session, about a week or so ago, but something happened and I'm like, what is happening? I'm so happy we are finally here. Okay. I've been inspired, ladies and gentlemen, I've been inspired by the BOS boss, Barrister Beverly. She's been absolutely amazing. Okay, so my name is Philip Oposo, and of course, Niger data man, right? So I've been interested with everything that has to do with data. I've been invited to give sessions, for organizations, training centers, universities, even individuals, right? Currently, I teach MBA students, I teach MSc students, I teach undergraduates, fields related to data analytics, programming with Python, machine learning, everything that would help them as individuals, as organizations to make data-driven decisions. Because I believe that decisions that is made using data, that is made with data, is actually devoid of bias and can actually help to improve productivity. So I am for all things data. And I also believe that not many persons in Nigeria have gotten this data awareness, this data consciousness. There is so much you can achieve. There is so much you can do. Let me just give you a little scenario. See, when it comes to data, I talk a lot. So I don't know if this 1 hour will be enough, but let me just try my best. About few weeks ago, about 3-4 weeks ago, a colleague, a friend rather, from Togo called me and he said to me, Philip, I'm confused. I asked him, what is happening? What is going on? And he was like, I've spent more than $700 learning data analytics, but I still don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I have learned tools, I've learned things, but I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I feel so confused. And I said, just calm down. You see, there are so many persons like you, I told him. There are so many persons that are on TikTok, that are on LinkedIn, that are on different social media platforms, claiming to be data analysts, but they are so confused. They don't even know the direction to take. They don't even know the angle, no area of specialization. In the course of this discussion, we are going to learn a thing or two about domain expertise. Because if you don't know about a particular domain, then what are you doing? So I'm calling on data analysts. Even if you are a data analyst, we need you. If you want to go into a field that profits you very well, this is the right time to start. We are telling you to come and become a sports analyst, a sports data analyst. We're also going to explain the different fields, the different areas you're going to benefit from by becoming a member of this amazing and unique platform. There is so much to do, there is so much to learn, and there is so much to talk about. So I'm just waiting for the go ahead to just get started, right? So I'm happy to be here, and I also welcome everybody here on this platform. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to the both of you for that very nice, succinct intros that you both gave us. And you've just given me some food for thought, Philip. Domain expertise. I think that's one of the reasons probably why BOS has gained popularity in such a short space of time. We are not used to talking about domain expertise in the area of sports business. People just think generically, talent manager. I think most people associate sports business maybe with being a football manager, when there's so much more to it than that. So the whole purpose of today's workshop is to emphasize on domain expertise. And we've picked possibly the two, I guess one is non-controversial because sports business management sounds very pleasing to the ear. It sounds interesting. And then you now have sports data analytics, which sounds very out there. It sounds very new. It sounds very niche. But the great thing about both areas is whether you want to be conservative and go into sports business management, or whether you want to do something cutting edge that borders on data and science, you can be assured of a very, very fulfilling and I would say lucrative career, as long as you obviously play your cards right, you're ethical. One thing we don't promote enough is the ethics of doing good business. It's very important that we promote ethics whilst we're talking about opportunities, because your name can take 20 years to build, but can be reduced in 2 minutes flat. So that's where I come in. I'm always talking about ethics and governance. But today, truly, the stage is for both my guests. So what I'm going to do is let me just start asking some questions. So very basic question. Hassan, over to you. What is sports business management? Like for someone like me, I have a rough idea. But if you're explaining this concept to a complete novice, what is sports business management in a nutshell? Then we can talk about what you do specifically. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Actually, sports business management, you can take it from its name. It's managing the business of sport. Either this sport entity is a club, it's an event, it's a player, it's a competition. So the business side of it, so people know that, okay, you have the players, they play and win, and then the game is over. That's not actually, there's so much before, so much after. So the commercial side of the business is where it's what makes the sports keeps going. Because like you have to understand what is valuable, what are the values and the assets of this, whoever you are representing, either a sports entity, either it's like an organization, let's say a university, let's say like that teaches sports, or like a club. So to know the assets very well, to know how much you are adding value, and how to price and sell this to the right people. So you have to create a strategic partnerships to whatever entity you are representing. After you understand very well first, who are you representing? So if you don't know very well what you are talking like representing today, then you cannot convince other people, as you know. So if you don't believe much in what you are selling or what you are talking about today, you will not be able to convince other people to join you. So for example, when you told us about BOS, with how much passion you had, now we have, like, you transferred this passion to us. So now we feel like, okay, we want to be there. We want to do so much to the people that want to jump in the industry or want to come to the industry. So the business, it's a very wide business for sports. It's a very wide word. It depends on which area do you want to go, what direction do you want. So there is like sponsorships. There is maybe like naming rights of something. There is marketing. So there is a lot to discuss, a lot to learn. It depends on what area is you are attracted to, let's say, or your passion is about.
That's so interesting. So from what you said, there's different aspects of sports business.
Yes.
And the interesting thing about sports business is you're managing something, some aspect of the value chain. It could be players, human beings. It could be intellectual property assets, which is like the not the logos, but the brand assets. So that's not a human being, but it's still an asset. It's an intangible asset. That's the word.
Yeah.
So you have your tangibles and you have your intangibles. And again, what I like that you said is your passion and maybe your natural interest will determine what you want to manage. So some people, I guess, want to manage human beings, as troublesome as they can be. Some people, maybe like me, who are legal, like the idea of brands. Oh, we want to protect the brand of a company, a club, a federation, etc.
Yeah.
I think you also talked about sponsorships, another very exciting aspect of sports. Because sometimes, I think we all take for granted what it takes to see, these big global sponsors, backing events, tournaments, competitions, the run up, what it takes to get to that stage, the negotiations, the review of agreements. I mean, it takes a whole lot. And I like that you've simplified it so that we can all understand. It's the business of sports management where you are managing something or someone.
Yes,
or
yes.
a group of people. Okay.
A group of people,
like
yes,
that.
of course. And actually, we cannot, just to add, for example, like as a commercial or like a business executive, like at the moment I represent different brands and entities, not only one, luckily, and actually like all of them like amazing like names and brands, but we cannot make any decision without relying on real data. So this is what Philip is bringing, which is like, so we rely on what he provides. So for example, we need like a whole data or a market research on whoever we are trying to work on and whatever we are trying to work on in order to make, as Philip said, like, let's say, logic moves. Not just, okay, I feel like I have to do this. No, it's like you have data. This data tell you, okay, you need to make a decision. So there is risk management as well. You have to keep in mind before making any decision. So not any, in the business of sports, not any opportunity is a good opportunity. So you have to know, okay, for example, if I want to, there is a potential sponsor, and this sponsor is going to pay us a lot of money, for example, for a club or for a player. If this sponsor doesn't match the values of the entity you're representing, then this sponsor is not going to be good for you, even though that it's getting a lot of money to you. So you have to be very, very smart about the data, about the identity of the brand you are representing. So there's so much we can talk about.
Wow. I like this. This is a fantastic intro and segue into data analytics. So takeaway, it's not just about the money. Not all money is good money. You need you need someone behind the scenes analyzing the data sets. And I think this is where people like Philip come in. So so we move away from sentimental, oh yeah, we think they look great. Oh, we think this is a great fit. But rather, we're data driven in the way we make decisions, which is something that is not popular in the sports industry at all. I don't know if the audience is following. In Africa, I don't know. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but we need to see more evidence of this data-driven approach that you've shared with us, Hassan. So thank you so much for that, Hassan. So now over to you, Philip. Hassan has laid a nice foundation. He's talked about his role as a sports business executive, managing a lot of brands, and the bigger your brand, the more you will get people coming, making offers, proposals. Now, what is the role of, say, a data analyst working in the sports industry? What are the various types of decisions they would be expected to make? The data set, some examples of data sets that they can rely on, and then I'm going to take you into a little bit into the career side, because people on this webinar might be interested. They might think, wow, sports data is something I didn't consider. You know, this is interesting. How do I get into it? So let's start with data sets. What type of data sets would be typical in the sports industry? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me also thank Mr. Hassan for doing an amazing job. I think it's very important for us to keep reiterating the fact that we want our decisions to be data-driven, because data-driven decisions usually gives the best results. I also want to give a scenario. In fact, it's not a scenario, it's something that happened recently. So in my data science group, a colleague of mine dropped a link. Now, when I clicked on the link, of course, it was about Chelsea Football Club. Now, Chelsea Football Club are actually looking for a performance data analyst. On LinkedIn, it was published. So I went in, I checked, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not a fan of Chelsea. Whew, I wish it was Manchester United. Maybe I could have applied for it, you know. But what's the point there? Now, if you check in, maybe type in your Google, how much does a performance data analyst earn in Europe? You will see that is good money. Okay, so what does a performance data analyst do? Now, you want to check out the kind of players that you have, the injury history, the number of games that a player can play, the number of, the age of the individual, the perspective, in fact, the kind of diet of that individual, the country, the stature, the stamina, a lot of things you will check about the players. Okay, that is for the player point of view. Now, if you now take it back to the club, you are looking at scouting networks, right? Now, how do you scout for players? What are the things you look out for? So that, like Mr. Hassan mentioned, not every opportunity is a good opportunity. You don't want to invest millions in a player and it becomes false promise. So you want to ensure that all the data that you are collecting, the data sets that you have, will actually give you the insights that you need to make the right kind of decision. And I'm very happy you mentioned the professional aspects, the skills, what you hope to achieve. What are some of the roles, some of the should I say professions, you can actually derive. What are some of them? So I've just mentioned about Chelsea Football Club. That is something that happened quite recently, about a month ago. Okay, so they wanted a performance data analyst. That is one. But we also know that we have other things. You can become a scout data analyst or a scouting data analyst. You can also become a game strategist. You can analyze games of your opponents. After analyzing the games, you can identify weaknesses and strengths in your opponent that your team can actually capitalize on. You can also understand the strengths of your team and how to improve the quality of your team. You can also become an injury prevention analyst. Now, if you don't have the requisite skill set, if you don't have the domain expertise, you can't fill into any of this category. So becoming a data analyst is good, but to become a sports data analyst, you need to understand some of these important KPIs as it relates to the sports industry. We need to understand these things very well, and that is where BOS comes in. I'm not going to spill the beans too much because we're not actually having a class, we're not having a lecture right now. But what we're saying is there is so much that you can be as it relates to the sporting industry. You can choose to become a performance data analyst and work remotely. You can choose to work with an organization, but the possibilities are endless. So rather than becoming so, confused, I don't even know what to do. Remember, we are training both data analysts to become sports data analysts, right? We are also training novices, those ones who don't even have an idea of what data analysis is about. We are going to help them to become professional sports data analysts so they become focused in a particular field. And once you are focused, you know that you have your direction. It helps you, it prevents you from becoming confused and overwhelmed. I have people in my DMs telling me, oh, please, if you have opportunity for lecturing or for training, please let me know. But they are data analysts. We need to help people to learn how to use their skills very well. So there is a lot going on. And for you to really key into this, you might also want to know, oh, what kind of skills do I need? We recommend that every participant should have basic IT knowledge, basic computer skills. But the most important skill for you to have is spirit of inquisitiveness. Let me put it that way. You must have that curiosity, that spirit of curiosity. I want to learn. I want to make things better, and start thinking. You should have analytical thinking, right? Pay attention to details. Have good communication skills. Be curious. Do you want to learn? Do you want to keep learning? Do you want to improve yourself? Do you have a target in mind? Do you want to be impactful? Everyone today claims to be data analysts, but why are we still having lots of unresolved issues? Data tells us that people are just claiming to be what they are not. So we want you to become a BOS member so you can you can make genuine impact. Apart from making genuine impact, you are also going to impact your pocket as well. And I know that that will appeal to a lot of us. So we are saying, come on board and learn how to become a professional in sports data analytics. It is very important.
Nice, nice. And again, we are emphasizing on the need for skills acquisition. We can't move our lives forward if we don't have the skills. Okay. And now I want to pass this question over to Hassan. I think I want to take you to the beginning when you were younger. What made you decide to go into sports business? Did you have any preconceived notions? Did you land in it accidentally, or was it, I think, you know what, Hassan? Let me even just ask you, Egypt. I know I've been to Egypt a few times. I love it. It's a beautiful country. And it's quite different. It's very similar to Nigeria, but at the same time, there are some differences. When it comes to sports business management, things are a little bit more advanced over there. So do you want to just tell us a bit about, the environment you found yourself that led you to make that decision? Because again, environment is what shapes us, right? Which is why we've set up BOS. We want this institution to help shape young minds. Young, to be honest, we're not ageist. Young, old, middle-aged, you're all welcome. I'm middle-aged after all. So everybody's welcome. So Hassan, tell us, take us back to when you were 18, 19. Who was Hassan back then? what were your passions? Was it always sports business, or were you a footballer that said, "Oh, I can't play. Let me..." Tell us what was the impetus for going into sports business.
Yeah, thank you. That was it was amazing question, and thanks a lot, Philip. I have to DM you and learn more about that as well. Actually, I like when I was younger, I always had the dream to become a football player, which I didn't achieve. I was good, but I wasn't that much dedicated. Let's say it this way. And when I like my background was actually totally different. I played football for like actually a good club here in Egypt, but it was like a youth. And then when I was about to make like a bigger step, I had some like incident happened, so I stopped football. I learned languages. I learned English and Spanish. And my background at the university, actually, it was something different. I studied languages and translation, Spanish language and literature, and it was totally different, and as well the English. This opened doors to me to learn more of the actually what made me know that there's an opportunity for me to stay close to the field, even though that I'm not a player anymore, was learning the language and studying online. So I found like stuff online. Okay, like you can learn more about business of sports, marketing, sports marketing. I studied. I I I, I got certified from like Barcelona, from different entities abroad, and after that, I started working in sports as a sports marketing for a little actually not a little, actually an amazing tennis academy that was the beginning of my career in sports, and I loved it more every time I started to educate myself and meet amazing people that they taught me more. So it was all driven by passion, let's say, and I think even though that it appeared that there was a stop in my football career, and actually it was an amazing opportunity for me to do something that I love the most, and to be close to something that I always like passionate about. And this what happened actually. Yeah.
That's amazing. The fact that, I don't call it a failure. I call it you stepped into where you were really supposed to be. And I think that's another thing BOS is trying to do. So many dreams are made on the field, but what a lot of people don't know is sometimes what your purpose is might be bigger than that field, because now you are traveling the world, you're working with so many brands, you're working, different continents, the same as a footballer. But guess what? You actually get to interact with more people. Footballers to me are like they're like, how do you say, they're like pets. Sorry to say. You put them in a little cage, you let them out to play, and then you put them back, right? I mean, that's a horrible way to explain it, but it's me just trying to say that the people that make things really happen are the actors off the field.
Exactly.
Without the work you do in branding and sponsorship, there will be no money. There will be no budget to pay for some of these amazing experiences, salaries, events. So, thank you so much for being very honest and sharing your story. I think it's very inspiring. And I want people here to also hear this. It's not about broken dreams or premature expectations. It's really about seeing that the world is far bigger than we realize in the world of sports. So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
Thank
Very
you so
inspiring.
much. I just want to say one thing to add to what you just said. Like you mentioned the environment and the circumstances around each of us. And one thing to tell everyone who's dreaming or like having a dream about doing whatever, either sports or not sports, like honestly, and this is not just me saying, it's like the sky is the limit, no matter where you start. Like, what are your financial situation? Like, what is your financial situation? Environment around you, whatever. Believe that It's all on you. It's all on how much you believe that you can learn and grow. And all starts there. Once you believe, you will receive.
Amazing. What you believe, you will receive.
Yes.
Preach. I like that. I like that. So, Philip, your enthusiasm is so infectious. Can I ask you a question? Be honest. Were you good at maths in school? Because sometimes I think, data. I hear data as a lawyer and I want to run away. But
I'm
is
here.
there is there hope for those of us who are scared of maths? Is it something that any of us on this call can naturally flow with? Really,
Thank you very much. Sorry, before I answer the question, let me appreciate my dear friend, Mr. Hassan, for the warm encouragement. I know there are lots of persons in the house now that would have really been touched, by your story and by that encouragement that once you believe, you will receive. That is quite amazing stuff. And you have also given us that very valuable information regarding players. Players eat, footballers they eat, they need somebody to prepare their meals, they also travel, they need somebody to take care of their expenses. So all of these falls under sports business. That's amazing. You're doing an amazing job. Well done, Mr. Hassan. Yeah. So back to the question on maths. I did not forget. You have put me on the spot. Okay. So back then in secondary school, I was struggling seriously with maths. Until date, I would not call myself, I wouldn't say I'm even any better in maths. I'm not doing badly in maths, but I wouldn't say, oh, Philip is not the person you look at and you say, oh, Philip is great at mathematics. Oh, he's so good at mathematics. No. Okay. So the world of data is a bit funny because once you have the interest, and sometimes having the interest means you know the value you hope to gain from it. Once you have that at the back of your mind, I'm telling you, you can actually achieve. Now, another issue I see here with people is that people are confused. Why are they confused? In today's world, we have an avalanche of information. We have different motivational speakers, permit me to use that word. They will come here and they will tell you this, oh, tell you that, lots of things, but even they themselves are confused. But I'm saying to you, if you have the interest in becoming a data analyst, a sports data analyst, there is a career here for you. There is a path to becoming very good at this. There is a path to making this your career. There is a path to earning from this. This is a field that is still brewing in the African market because we don't have many sports data analysts. We don't have many performance data analysts. We don't have many game strategists in this country. We don't have lots of scouting and recruitment data analysts. So we are going to help you with the domain knowledge. So it is not like giving you everything and then you will now start thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Because you are now confused. We will help you. We will direct you. We will lead you in the path to becoming productive in particular areas of sports data analyst. So by the time you have this knowledge, of course, we cannot run away from math because everything at the end of the day revolves around maths, but not complex enough for a non-technical person to comprehend. No, you will be able to comprehend what you are going to learn. And there is one method that we have been taught. I try to upgrade myself. I try to improve myself. So in one of the training sessions that I actually, I'm certified, basically IFC certified, we're encouraged to develop personalized teaching methods, which means once you come on board this program, we are not going to assume that, oh, because Barrister Beverly is so good at this, then we expect everybody else to be. No, we are going to give each and every participant personalized attention to ensure that everyone is carried along. So the only limit, the only person that can stop you from learning or achieving your objective is you as a person. When it comes to giving you the resources, giving you the attention and the technical know-how, you are going to have that. That one is for sure. At the end of the day, and please just permit me to say this, okay? Because sometimes we have this perception in Nigeria that, oh, when something is not paid for, when something is free, or when something is too cheap, then it is not valuable. Remember when Barrister Beverly was talking about the goal of BOS? It is to empower Africans. So automatically, it means that there is already a discount on the cost of this program. This program that we are listening to here is meant to be a paid program, right? But because of Barrister Beverly, I call her the boss of BOS, because of our keen desire to help as many Nigerians, as many Africans to get on board, to empower them, we decided to make this session free of charge so that you will know that there is a path to helping you gain financial freedom. Yes, I have to be very honest with you because there are lots of jobs in this sector. But beyond that, we are going to create impact. You will create impact. I'm talking to you, listening to me. You will create impact. You will learn the skills to becoming a successful sports data analyst. That is already a field. So that next time when a club like Manchester United comes calling and say, "Oh, we need to have an injury data analyst," because you already have sports domain knowledge. That is where domain expertise comes in. You will be able to fit in because you know what and what you should be looking at in order to give them the right results, the right reports that will enhance, that decision. Yeah. Hello, are we together? So beyond that, we also have, I've spoken about game strategy analyst. Hello, the barrister still here?
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me, Mr. Hassan?
Very well. Very well.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So what we are saying in essence is there is so much. Don't allow lack of mathematical or technical skill to be a hindrance towards achieving your goal. That shouldn't be a hindrance at all. So, oh, I'm not good at maths. Don't worry, still come on board. Okay, so we recognize that everyone would have different technical levels or different knowledge, but we are going to create a platform that balances things out such that whether you're coming from a non-technical background, oh, I didn't do computer science, oh, I didn't do maths in school, oh, I didn't do this, oh, I studied sociology, or I studied political science, or I studied this, we are all going to help you because giving you that domain knowledge, number one, helping you to know areas to focus on, and not just helping you, we'll be showing you. This is a hands-on session. It's not, oh, go and do this. I don't know how to do it now. Go and find out. Yes, we'll teach you how to make research, how to do research, but you are going to be helped. The knowledge will be given to you, the empowerment will be given to you to become good at this. And that is what BOS stands for. That is why personally I am so proud, being a part of this movement. It's a movement for me because it is something that is new in Africa. You can imagine, Mr. Hassan is in Egypt all the way, and I'm here in Nigeria, but we are partners. We have become teammates. We have become colleagues. Why? Because we want to impact Africans. Just imagine if you take up this opportunity today, if you embrace this opportunity, you don't know where this will lead you. The opportunities are endless. I'm telling you. So I don't want us to be saying, oh, there are no jobs, there are no jobs. Stop saying that. It is because you don't have that information. You don't have the know-how. You don't know where to search for. You don't know where these things are domiciled. So there is a lot going on here. But we are saying Don't be, anyway, my friend in Togo, I know he's here listening to me right now. I'm very, very sure he's here because I told him to come and listen to this session. Why did I ask him to come? Remember, when he called me, he was overwhelmed. I spent more than $700 learning data. I still don't know what to do. I said, don't worry, relax. Just come to this session. And I'm sure that he's going to be a part of this program. Because at the end of the day, the direction, the path will be very, very clear. I am sorry that I'm still talking, but let me just allow you to.
Not at all, not at all. You know, you've spoken so well, and you've articulated maybe some fears that people have about, oh, is data really for me? Am I just jumping on the bandwagon? No, because guess what? Data is actually life. Data feeds into every aspect of what we do. How do you decide to buy a house? How do you decide to travel somewhere? How do you decide to set up a new business? It's the same. How do you decide what skills you want to acquire? It's based on rudimentary data. But the benefit of this course is it's a course taught by a certified national data analyst who also has a background in sports. And then you have the backing of BOS, which is a Pan-African institution. And don't forget, there's so many other courses apart from sports data and sports business management. What we did is we wanted to use today's session to introduce yourselves to the variety of different courses that are actually out there. Because the truth of the matter is, we sometimes have to build and create the tables for ourselves. We could easily have said, well, sports business isn't thriving in sub-Saharan Africa. Let's just look at what we can get from abroad. But no, sometimes we need to create an enabling environment in our own regions, which will then attract foreign investors, foreign partners to come here. And the most important thing that I really, really hope, and I believe my partners, faculty will agree, is we will create an awareness for new skills so that our local clubs, our local leagues, our local bodies, companies will begin to hire these analysts. I mean, I spoke to a friend of mine. He's at Sporting Lagos, and he told me, and I'm sure he's happy for me to share this, and he said to me, they had to hire a data analyst for the first time ever. First time they had to hire a data analyst. It's never been done before, but you have to move with the times, because if you're not data driven, you're going to be sentimentally driven, and that's where you are prone to losing money, you're prone to losing assets. So we live in a very different world. We live in a data-driven world, and you know, I'm sure you will agree with me that Philip and Hassan have done justice to the topics of not just data, but also sports business. Sorry, Philip, you want to say something?
Yes, please. I'm very happy with this experience that you just shared, and I just want to use it as an opportunity to also explain something to people. Now, if a sporting agency or maybe a football club is looking for a data analyst, right? And we have lots of persons today that claim, lots of people come out and say, oh, I'm a data analyst. And you come out with a BOS certificate that you are a sports data analyst. Can you see the difference now? There's a big difference. So you have told them that your focus is on sports, not just on everything. Mm-hmm. So what that does for them is to streamline the search. So, oh, we have a sports data analyst, not conventional data analyst. Okay. So you see that you've already gotten the upper hand. You are having a BOS certificate. You are having the know-how. You are having that field. So already, see, the opportunities are just, I don't know how else to express it. The opportunities are just endless for you. All you need to do is just to take the leap. And I'm telling you, you will not regret this opportunity.
Absolutely.
The empowerment that BOS is giving to you, you know, it's not something, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, we're supposed to have the backing of the government, because we need to be able to come up with a team that we have, right, requires lots and lots of financing, lots of finance, lots of money. But because of the passion in our heart, because we love impacting people, we are doing this to help you to be free, to help you to be impactful. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And besides that, hear what the BOS boss said. For the first time in the club history, they are hiring a data analyst for the very first time,
Yes.
which means there are many other clubs that are looking or they
Yeah.
might not have seen. And sometimes some people do not even know what they need unless you present it to them. So just imagine, with your sports analytical prowess, you are able to do a presentation, send to like 5 different clubs and tell them, if you do this, it's going to result into this. There is no reasonable club or organization that will not want to buy into it, because you are showing them clearly, this is what you're going to get. When I was still trying to, get what I call social proof, I met some shops. I went to them, I told them, I can help you to do this and this, even for free. I told them, because I was still trying to build myself. I was still trying to demonstrate that knowledge. I was still trying to help, to prove to people that I could actually do this. But right now, I don't do that anymore. About 3 weeks ago, a UK agency reached out to me and they said, let me quote, because they actually called me on phone. They requested for my number, then they called me and they said to me, we've gone through your profile on LinkedIn. You are exactly what we need. We have a company in Nigeria, in Lagos to be precise, and we want you to help us to go and train them. So based on my portfolio, they were able to see what I could actually offer. Now imagine how many data analysts or data analytics trainers they've actually scanned and searched, and they singled my profile. So imagine what will happen when you have that differentiating factor.
Yes.
Imagine what will happen when you have that thing that differentiates you from other data analysts. You're going to be hot, smoking hot.
Philip, thank you so much. I mean, couldn't have put it better. What's your differentiating factor? What's your USP? What's that unique selling point that you have? And the same goes to sports business management as well. You might think it's generic, but it's not. There are niche areas, and you can be a star in whichever area, whether it's logistics, whether it's player management, whether it's sponsorship, marketing, branding, even IP. It's about all of us finding our domain expertise and excelling. But domain expertise comes with building competence. Competence gives you confidence. No competence, fake confidence, they find you out. And you can agree with me that our guests today are highly, highly trained, highly skilled. Hassan has talked about seeking knowledge. He maybe couldn't find the knowledge locally in his country. He started going online. He found somewhere in Spain that changed his life. And that's beautiful. But guess what? Today, a little Hassan now of 19 will not need to do that anymore. They can do that locally. Philip, who I still don't believe he was bad at maths, but his passion for figures, for data, for validation has led him to become one of the most sought after data analytics trainers. And coupled with his passion for sports, you can now see how that also sets him apart. So really, today has really been about helping each and every one of us on this call realize that the sports industry is magnificent. There are opportunities that we can create here in Africa. You don't need to go to Australia, to Spain, to UK anymore to have a sports business career of your dreams. Your career can actually start where you are right now, right here with BOS, which is online, and you don't need to travel and pay for visas and pay for flights. But one thing we really want to do is we want to get you guys interacting with the speakers, because we are now at 1 hour. So we really want you guys to ask your questions. I see someone called Jeremiah's hand up. I don't know whether your hand has been up for a while. So either you put your questions in the box. Okay, someone asked Hassan a question: what inspired you? You might have already answered that, but for the benefit of those who maybe didn't hear the first time, we can always take it again. So somebody called Yusuf has asked you, Hassan, what inspired you? So maybe a summarized version.
What inspired me is, as I said earlier, thanks for Yusuf. What inspired was that I was playing football. I love the game, and I always wanted to be like related and like near what I love. And as well, I used to love like marketing and the business. So like if it's a reason behind that was like actually my interest and passion about sports, and as well learning, the passion of learning. Like it's non-stop. Now I'm doing my MBA. I'm not doing great, but I mean, like I love learning, and like so this what led me here, and actually my family. Like
Excellent. Well
yeah,
done. And I like that. I like that you're still pursuing knowledge. You're going after an MBA. So it
you can
tells us that skills, knowledge also drives you. You've said it without
always,
saying it, right?
yes,
Great.
always you have to sharpen your skills and non-stop, because there is always a new way to do whatever.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
before today, we didn't know what is AI.
True.
Today, AI is involved in everything. So you have to learn how to interact with the new updates, especially if you love something and you want to be the best at what you do. Like for example, like you will learn, get a course in data analysis or like sponsorship, whatever, and then you get a job. That doesn't mean your learning stop here.
Exactly. It doesn't
Actually,
stop with the
it's
job. You keep
starting
going.
more.
Yes. I like that.
You
Thanks.
want to
Thanks
keep
for
the job, and if
joining
you
us.
want to grow.
Absolutely. I have Patrick. Patrick, I've given you an opportunity to speak because you raised your hand. Did you want to unmute yourself and ask a question to our guests? You can speak if you want. And then I have Jeremiah as well, who also raised their hand. Go ahead, Patrick. Thanks.
Okay, I want to ask my question now because I'm a little busy. I'm a little bit busy at the office now, but I'll probably text my questions. That's it.
Sorry, Patrick, I missed that. Are you asking or you're not?
I'm not
He said,
asking now.
Oh, okay, thanks. Jeremiah, let me allow you to speak because you raised your hand. If you have other questions, you can always put them in the okay, Jeremiah, I think you raised your hand, so you can share your question if you want to. Okay, some other questions have come in. This one goes out to you, Philip. It says, as this question is from Silvos Oseme, as a data analyst, does one need knowledge of data science for better opportunities? Question for you, Philip.
okay, thank you very much. That's a very, very good question. Data science as a whole is a multidisciplinary study that encompasses data analytics, data analysis, machine learning, and so on and so forth. So your understanding of data science is a plus. But what we are saying here is in this course that we'll be running here, okay, we are going to help you with the part of data science that you need to make your work easier, that will make you understand it better, that will make you productive, that will make you a professional, right? So we're not going to envelope you with everything, but we are going to give you the skills that you need that will help you to become a successful sports data analyst. So
Okay,
yes, it helps.
I have another question for you, Philip. That question is quite long. Do you have any intentions of spearheading projects to bridge the data analytics gap on the African continent in sports? Because there's an obvious gap, but there's still an opportunity, though difficult because of the lack of optimum systems and structures. However, I do believe that with the collective will that we all have, there stands a unique opportunity for us to take it on. I'll give you an example. building a database of stats for African football leagues and clubs. Why do I get the feeling that CAF should be doing this already? But maybe both of you can take it. Philip and then Hassan, what are your thoughts about this question on data analytics in African clubs and leagues and associations?
Okay, so should I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would really love it. I think it would be a very huge honor to spearhead such project, right? But we are BOS, right? And our objectives are very clear. We work as a team, and if I am given that responsibility as a BOS representative, why not? It will be very useful. But it goes beyond what we are saying, what we're talking about here. Because when you're talking about Africa, there is a confederation, right? So we need a lot of information. We need access to lots of data, So it is the data that would help us to actually to actualize this goal or this vision, okay? And like what the BOS boss said earlier, everything that we do today needs data. When we feed data into it, we get the result. So having access to the right kind of data will give us, the ability to generate the insights and to actually, do what is required. So access is required. And then, of course, we are dealing with the confederation. Access to the information is very vital. But at BOS, we just keep doing our best and see where that leads us. This is an awareness exercise. We don't know where this would lead us, but we're hoping for the best. So, Mr. Hassan, over to you.
Yeah. Hassan, what do you think?
It's a great idea, but as Philip said, like you cannot just have data and you have to have a reason to collect the data. Like, what are you collecting it for? But at the same time, once you collect the right data, it's very valuable. Either you want to use it for development of a specific current projects, or you want to share facts with potential investors or sponsors, because whoever going to invest in a project, they need data to see how is the return of investment, the factors of each investment, and whatever is the project. So go ahead with the project, but make sure that you have the solid reason behind what you are going to do.
That makes a lot of sense. So we don't collect data just for the fun of it. There has to be a reason why we want to collect it. Maybe we want to highlight a gap, like Nana asked that question. Maybe we want to attract investment in that area. Maybe we want to foster collaboration. But I think it's still a very interesting project, and who knows, BOS with partners could potentially, pull something.
It's needed. If the question is it needed? Like, as I told you before, I worked with different brands, and I still do, and always it's not easy to collect useful data from the African nation, unfortunately. If these data are available, a lot of opportunities will rise.
Very true. Yes, very true. We need to recognize that African countries are not talking to each other as much as we ought to. So again, that also throws up that challenge. But I mean, wherever there's a challenge, we can always find a way to get involved. But thank you, Nana. Very thought-provoking question about how African countries need to share more information, and maybe existing information can be made more transparent. So thank you. Very valid comment. I have a question from Fumilayo. That's a lady's name, for Hassan. And the question is, I've been in sports media for the past decade, but I feel it's the right time to transition into sports business and marketing. What steps would you advise me to start with? That's the first. Well, she says, what steps? Then she now says internship. Then she says going for an MSc, getting a job, getting a mentor. She throws a lot at you. So that's the question from Fumilayo to Hassan about, it sounds like she wants to transition from media. Hassan, I'll give you a little bit of a background. In Nigeria, I don't know about the other African countries, but the media side of things, it sometimes feels like a bit thankless. They do a lot to try to project the sports in front of us, but we do have a bit of a broadcasting issue in some African countries where we don't get a chance to actually enjoy and watch our domestic games as much as the foreign. So we have more foreign content in our faces. So a media person working in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, there's that challenge of where are the sports games? Where's the content? Who's gonna enjoy this content? Who's watching? So I can kind of understand why she wants to move. So I just wanted to give you that context why she might be going from media to something like marketing. So you can answer the question now. Thank you.
Actually, media is part of the sports business. It's not something else. It's part of it because we need the media numbers in order to say, okay, we reached with this like viewership or like broadcasting this specific number of like fans or that. So it's actually not just a fact, it's a big factor of the business of sport is the media. When it's done in the right way and sold to the right people, it will bring a lot of revenue and success to the entity or the league, for example. So for the question, you start where, like, you just need to start either through a mentor, through like internship, whatever is suitable to your current situation. But the most important is to learn and to start to read about, okay, like when you read, you will know what you like and what you don't like. For example, as I said before, like in the business of sport, there are different areas. So the marketing area, maybe this is closer to media. Branding, it's close to media. Then the sponsorship. There is actually the broadcasting of sports. So maybe this is something that you should as well look into and help the media, football media in Nigeria or other countries to grow by selling the league, the rights of watching this league or this competition to the right partners. So are you able to start an internship? Do it. If you are able to just write someone and like start to have a mentorship like sessions, do it. For example, POS is offering a lot of these like sessions and a lot of like courses. This is a very good start, honestly, and I'm not telling you that you have to do it, but actually this is the way that you invest in yourself in learning, and this is what I did. And I'm lucky that it paid back, and I'm sure that whatever you invest in, which is yourself, is the most important, will give you back.
Absolutely. And just to bounce off what Hassan said, we do recognize that for a lot of people, they do worry, what's next? I've done my training. What's next? What's next? And that's something that we at BOS also want to look into. We also want to create a pipeline of opportunities, internships, permanent jobs, temporary jobs. So again, there's a lot of partnership building in sports, believe it or not. There's a lot of goodwill. People have to trust you, know what your value is, what are you giving me in return? And one thing we really want to give in return is value for value. So that aspect of job mobility, internships is something we're going to be putting out more on BOS. Working with our partners all across Africa, send us your vacancies, particularly the remote ones, so that our community can apply and take advantage of such opportunities. So, what Hassan said, start with where you are right now. Mentors are all over. You should be following the right people. Follow Hassan, follow him on LinkedIn, see what he posts. Sometimes you learn by copying people, not like, they say flattery is the best form of, or imitation is the best form of flattery. sometimes it does make sense, because when you see what the people you look up to are doing, it gives you an idea of what moves you should be making yourself. But most certainly internships is our number one, and we will be uploading internships in the new year 2026 for all ages. Okay, sports data analytics internships, sports business management internships for all levels. Philip, you wanted to say something?
Yes, please. I just want to encourage the madam that asked all those questions to please be a boss. Be a boss. Your presence here means that you are ready for impact. Your question shows that you know what you want. Be a boss. Just be a boss. Be a member of Business of Sports in Africa.
Absolutely. Be a boss, take ownership. Right now, the sports industry is probably, I can say hand on heart, one of the rare industries where a lot of the people that are doing well literally had to build from nothing. I can tell you that 10 years ago, apart from, in fact, when I started my football academy, I knew nothing about football. I knew nothing. I did what Hassan did. I bought a book, I went online, I researched, I made connections, I talked to people, and 13 years later, I have, an academy that is pretty well known in Nigeria. You need to literally take ownership, and that ownership comes with building competence. You can't cheat, you cannot cheat building competence. You must build your skills, your competencies. That then gives you the confidence to talk to people, potential partners. But don't worry, I hear you loud and clear. You want direction. Direction you will get. It will be one of our focal points as BOS to get partnerships across the African continent. We're looking for our members to have internships that are remote. You can work for an Egyptian marketing company from Nigeria, whatever it is, because it's one Africa and we all have to support each other. We are literally going to be rounding up in the next 4 minutes. So I think there's one more question. Oh my God, the questions are now pouring in. Okay, I have someone here from Cameroon. I think I need to say hello. Bonjour, if you're French speaking. Hello, if you're English speaking. He says, this is Steve Palatejo from Cameroon, co-founder of Elevate Sports Association, where we dream of building Africa through sports. We do sports consulting and marketing. His question is, how can we practically create more interest in sports business? How can we convince young or older people to get interested in sports business? Wow. Steve, have you been with us all this time? It's about awareness. It's about having, conversations like this. And you know what, Steve? Thank you so much for showing up today. I tell you, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Today, we might be 30. By the next webinar, we might be 60, 300. A movement starts. But the important thing is we need to keep showing up. We need to create partnerships, reach out to me. It will be great to partner with you. That's why we're here today. We're here today because we want to make an impact in sports business. We want our youth. They say, I think 30% of the African population, and our African population, I think is somewhere around 1 billion. Imagine 30% of 1 billion. Just imagine the numbers, okay? And jobs are not coming as fast as they used to. Or guess what? Jobs are limited in number. So the same way you've taken this initiative to create Elevate, congrats to you. The same initiative I've taken to set up BOSS. Hassan is working for himself. Philip is working for himself. We are all individually doing powerful things, but together we are all amplifying each other's work. So I would tell you, partnerships, collaboration is the new competition. The more we collaborate and do things, the more we amplify the message. So thank you so much for coming from Cameroon. Tell your people, post about this. Take a picture of the screen and say, hey, I attended this. This is happening in Africa now. It's no longer just Spain, UK, US, Australia, even Egypt, where we're having these conversations. We're now having these conversations across Accra, across Lagos, across Guinea-Bissau, and so on and so forth. We create the interest when we all kind of amplify what each other is doing. Now, I think I have, okay, somebody says, can we get the LinkedIn profiles of Hassan and Philip? Could you please type your profiles down, because we literally have to wrap up in 2 minutes. Philip has to go for a training, you know, these back-to-back kind of things, and Hassan too is 2 hours ahead. But, you know, it's been such an amazing session. In my personal opinion, it's been an amazing session. I hope you've taken away a lot, as I have. But the key message today is stay locked in, stay connected to BOS, stay connected to our partners across the African continent, starting with Philip and starting with Hassan. We're going to have more of these sessions in the new year where you will actually get to meet the faculty. So sports data analytics, you already know Philip here. We also have our sports business administration course for those of you that are interested in sports business. For those of you interested in media, we also have a sports media course. We have so many courses. We have actually 11 courses altogether. So there's something for every one of you that cuts across the different value chains in sports. So I just want to ask my guests to just leave us with some parting, with a parting message for the people that attended. And don't forget, Hassan and Philip, leave your LinkedIn so that people, otherwise, if you look up Hassan Ez, Hassan, surname EZZ, Philip Okposo, aka Niger Data Man, you will find them. Philip is with one L, Philip Okposo, Okposo. You will find them very easily. So, Philip, what's your parting comment?
Thank you all so much for being a part of this. I hope to see the majority of you in our session when we start. Let's get ready to impact Africa using data. With data, you can't go wrong. So come and become a sports data analyst with BOS. See ya.
Hassan.
Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm so excited to receive your messages, questions, anytime you need anything. And hopefully soon we will have a session regarding sports business and how you can grow and how can you actually generate revenue to the entities that you represent. And I'm so excited to see you all grow and get where you want.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this session. It's the last session for the year, but do look out on our social media handles, Business of Sports Institute Africa, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X to find out more sessions. And also, we do have a Business of Sports Institute community on WhatsApp. I apologize. I keep forgetting to share this. I will quickly share this if you don't mind, because it's a great way to keep the conversations going. So I'm just going to share this very, very, very quickly. I'll share this very, very quickly. It's a free WhatsApp community where you can share knowledge, you can talk to yourselves. I'm just going to share the link to that very, very quickly. Invite via link. Oh my God, the link is so long. How am I going to do this? Okay, I will email it to myself and then I'll just do this very quickly so that you guys can all join in. Let me share this quickly, paste. Okay, let me see. This is what happens when you're put on the spot. Here we go. Okay, got it. I've got the link coming up right away. Coming up. Copy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm just posting the link quickly. I don't take up your time. Ta-da! There you go. That's the link to the BOS Sports Business Network please troop in. And thank you again. So Hassan and Philip, you've been amazing. Shukran. Thank you.
Thank you so
All the
much.
languages. Thank you so much. Take care for now. I'll leave the room open so people can, click. Take
Okay.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye. Bye.